Grand Theft Auto is one of the biggest and most lucrative franchises in gaming history. A massive open-world sandbox full of creative freedom and a poignant culture captured by Rockstar that is often imitated and never replicated. Fans have been asking for a GTA 6 after seeing the fifth game break monthly sales records over the past 8 years. But beloved more than anything are the legacy Grand Theft Auto games. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas that launched on the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox, starting the true heritage of sandbox GTA. And according to new leaks and rumors, these iconic city playgrounds are coming back, and Grand Theft Auto fans better buckle up. Rumors of a suite of Rockstar remastered games have been shared across the internet for well over 10 years, as fans have been asking for hit Rockstar games to be reimagined or just ported up to new consoles. Rumors pointed to the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, games now about 20 years old, to be remastered as early as fall 2021. Take-Two Interactive used DMCA takedowns to remove classic GTA mods from the internet while announcing that the publisher had 3 remastered games in development. Fans have been so desperate to realize the modern potential of Liberty City, San Andreas, and Vice City that these mods within the games or built into GTA 5 have held players over until a true remaster. According to sources close to Rockstar, the GTA Trilogy remasters are currently in the final stages of development. One of the main driving forces of Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto series is the music.
If nobody understands you, we do. Flash FM, music for the me generation. Awesome. It's on Flash FM.
Yo, what's up out there? This is Mad Dog on your radio. You're listening to Radio Los Santos, the greatest music station in the world. Act like you know essays. Holla.
The trilogy begins with Grand Theft Auto 3 in Liberty City, which was released in 2001. This was the first game to evolve from a top-down 2D open city to a fully realized 3D rendered open-world sandbox. And the game as it stands does not hold up to modern gamers with very stilted animations, low polygon character models, and early third-person lock-on shooting mechanics. Liberty City civilians and traffic were sparse in comparison to modern open-world games that we've played for several years, but the go anywhere and do anything mechanic was groundbreaking in the early 2000s and makes Grand Theft Auto 3 an absolute classic. Liberty City, of course, based on the American New York City, would need major overhauls to look and feel like a game we would want to play in 2021. Getting into the technical details of the Grand Theft Auto legacy games, back 20 years ago, Rockstar built this open-world sandbox in the RenderWare engine, which allowed it to scale across the PlayStation 2 and port to the Xbox console and middleware PCs. Rockstar Games' Dundee studio is working on, according to these sources, actively developing remastered versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. All 3 of these games are being remastered using Unreal Engine and will be, quote, a mix of new and old graphics. One source, who claims to have seen a snippet of the games in action, said that the visuals reminded them of a heavily modded version of a classic GTA title. The UI for the games will be updated too, but will retain the same classic style. No details were shared about gameplay, but they have been told the remastered titles are trying to stay true to the PlayStation 2 era GTA games as much as possible. Not only is Rockstar Dundee a new studio for the company, but is even helping Rockstar on developing the next-gen GTA 5 ports that are due out later this year. This instills confidence that this port of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy will be handled with care and attention that GTA fans come to expect. Fans hoping for a true remake or a remaster that will bring Grand Theft Auto's trilogy into modern gaming with a look and feel that lines up with the latest open world games may be disappointed to find out that the Trilogy Remaster aims to release on the Xbox Series consoles, PS5 and PC, but also porting to the last generation Xbox One, PS4, and, set your expectations, mobile. Currently, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is available to play on current consoles and PC via a mobile port, a port of the game that was built from the mobile version and tailored to play on console. This covers a wide variety of compatibility options, allowing just about everyone to play the Grand Theft Auto trilogy if this remaster comes out in the fall. The good news is that this Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remaster are a mix between the original graphics and the modern graphics we will see in the remastered GTA 5 release this year. Aiming and camera work within the game have always been very stilted, and at the time were very new to third-person open-world games as they were evolving in the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox era. Auto lock-on shooting and aiming has always been a contention point with Rockstar games, and it is reported that most of the combat and feel of the games has been left unchanged to retain the original feel of the series. But as the game evolved from Vice City into San Andreas, the camera movement by the player had been improved, as in Vice City you couldn't freely rotate the camera around your character. It's very likely that this free rotating camera in San Andreas will be applied across all three games, making each of the three in the series feel more cohesive. The UI will also remain unchanged to retain the classic feel of Grand Theft Auto, but will have a universal feel across all three games. But what does this mean for the future of Grand Theft Auto as we wait for Rockstar to discuss development of Grand Theft Auto 6? One thing that fans have been asking for over the past decade is for Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas, with San Fierro and Las Venturas, to be added to Grand Theft Auto Online. Rest assured, Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a major online component, and the rumors of an entire Grand Theft Auto universe being connected online is now supported by the idea that rebuilding these major cities for this trilogy could ease the development of bringing all of these cities into one cohesive online world in Grand Theft Auto 6. The Grand Theft Auto series is iconic. It is the literal foundation of the open world sandbox. The characters and creative freedom given to players by this franchise has shaped the world of gaming and how we look at open world games. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas should not be left behind in older hardware locked away from the latest consoles. Rockstar taking the time and resources to port and remaster these games for a modern generation, the popularity and demand that comes from this series shows that Grand Theft Auto is one franchise that should never be forgotten. This is Colt Eastwood. I know this video is a little bit late. Some of this news came out about a week ago, but I took some time to gather all of this footage from modded PC games and console games and the different versions of Grand Theft Auto to give us an idea of what these will look like when they come out. I've also been working on this video for quite a few days off and on, trying to decide if I should put this out, having it be late, but I wanted to get this message across because actually Grand Theft Auto is one of the modern games. Well, I can't call it modern because it's pretty old now, but the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas game is one of them that brought me back into gaming every single day that I do today. But I got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, traded it for a cheap guitar pedal I wasn't using anymore, which shows the change I made in my lifestyle at that time, but I got totally hooked, and the interest I have for the Grand Theft Auto trilogy and the whole series as a whole is the reason why I took the time to make this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. I know today I've got back-to-back videos, but thank you so much for your support. Also, you can check out the XNC podcast. That's a podcast I do live on Mondays. If you're not into watching a long show with industry interviews and talking to influencers in the gaming industry, that show is about an hour and a half or 2 hours. That's also on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts with Grand Theft Auto. One of my big concerns, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas lately, and the aiming is the biggest holdup. The rest of the game is just fine. The music and the atmosphere is still there with 7 polygons per character. They don't even have fingers, but I want to know what you're most excited about. Are you going to start with GTA 3, going to Vice City and San Andreas? Let me know which one's your favorite in the comment section. And while you're there, people may be talking about big Rockstar and how they keep remastering, how they need to remaster the games we've been asking for, and how they keep supporting GTA Online, and where is GTA 6? I know that's going to be there, but make sure your constructive criticism is constructive, and of course, be nice.